In the early hours of a Los Angeles morning, a boy named Kevin sat alone at his kitchen table. A ham radio hissed and popped in the dim light. Most children his age were outside, riding bikes or playing baseball. Kevin, he was listening to the world, the frequencies, the hidden pulses of communication, the secret heartbeat of a connected universe. He was 12. Already he knew that the world could be bent with knowledge, if only he could decode it. By 16, Kevin had cracked his first major system. It wasn't theft. It wasn't even mischief in the childish sense. It was revelation. A computer at the University of Southern California called the Ark. Every command, every hidden directory felt like a door into a new dimension. To Kevin, the digital world was alive. It was a web of potential, and he wanted in. This was not a story of malicious intent. Kevin Mitnick was a curious mind, a mind that thrived on understanding, testing limits, and outsmarting the systems everyone else took for granted. But he was also acutely aware of human weakness. He discovered early on that people, not machines, were often the most vulnerable link. A misplaced password, a naive phone call, a single moment of trust. These became his entry points, and entry points became a legend. By the 1980s, Kevin was infiltrating the networks of the largest tech companies in the world: IBM, Nokia, Motorola. He wasn't stealing money, he wasn't causing destruction, he was stealing secrets, poking holes in systems that society assumed were unbreakable. Each success added to his reputation, but it also drew the attention of a growing network of law enforcement and security experts who were unprepared for someone like him. Then came the chase. The FBI, the Department of Justice, the media, they were all hunting a ghost. And Kevin? He was more than a ghost. He was a whisper on the lines, a shadow in the circuits. But every ghost leaves a trace, and eventually the trail led to him. Enter Tsutomu Shimomura, a computer security expert. In 1994, Shimomura became unwittingly embroiled in Kevin's world when Kevin hacked into his systems. What followed was a cat-and-mouse game that gripped the nation. Every move was monitored, every countermeasure analyzed. The chase wasn't just about law enforcement versus criminal. It was a clash of minds, a duel of intellect and audacity. In 1995, Kevin was finally caught. Headlines called him the most wanted computer criminal in America. But Kevin, he was calm, almost amused. He told the world he was addicted, not to drugs, not to money, but to knowledge. He wasn't a thief. He was a compulsive explorer of forbidden places. Still, the justice system was unprepared for a case like his. The prosecutors painted him as a cyber terrorist, capable of bringing down the entire phone system with a few keystrokes. In truth, Kevin never sought destruction, but perception mattered more than reality. He spent 5 years in prison. For much of that time, he was denied access to computers, phones, even newspapers with classified ads. They feared he could start a digital war with nothing but a telephone keypad. For Kevin, prison wasn't just punishment. It was silence. No networks to explore, no codes to crack, no voices on the line. And yet, silence can be transformative. When Kevin emerged, he wasn't just a hacker. He was a prophet of the digital age. He became a security consultant, teaching the world how to defend against the very tricks he once used. Corporations hired him, governments listened, hackers admired. But Kevin never stopped warning us. He said the systems we trust, our banks, our hospitals, our elections, are only as strong as their weakest line of code. And that one day, someone would sell the future to the highest bidder. Today, as artificial intelligence grows, as surveillance deepens, as power centralizes, his warnings feel prophetic. Kevin Mitnick died in 2023. But legends don't die. They become myths we tell ourselves about what is possible. Kevin Mitnick was not the man who sold the future. He was the man who showed us it was for sale. And the question now is, What will we do with that knowledge?